back to the game. Okay, we didn't break it. We didn't break it. All good. Sorry. Did I check it right? Check. Yeah. Okay. Zoom game. So the idea here is you solve a puzzle, which is not clear explained what you actually need to solve, right? You do something. You look at this like what's the puzzle? I don't see the puzzle. But what you then do is you press the button again, and then bam, a different door opens, and it presents you with a scenario again. It's like, what's going on here? Can't do anything here. Can't do anything. And then you go and press the button again. Sometimes you can do stuff in there, but that's part of the puzzle. It's like, what's going on? And that sound effect you just heard there, the means you've actually solved the puzzle. And that means you get a key to actually go to
has
the
a black pyramid on it.
Key on it. And now we can actually go back and enter that door. Traverse the ocean view metal. Can't do anything here, can only do this. The rule of 3 applies. The paranatural. There we go. Pick up the hotline. Hotline Seashell. Hotline will allow you to contact extra-dimensional entities. I think the challenge here is just to avoid those things. You can't really do much with them or to them. Yeah, because that happens. Lure it to the side a little bit. Extra dimensional entities. I can hear the phone ringing. I can hear the phone ringing. Well done, dialed director. We expect compulsively weekly calls. Compulsive.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily.
What's interesting there, I didn't notice it the
People
first time.
react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
What I didn't notice before, or the previous time, is at the end of that cinematic, her nose started bleeding. I was well curious about that. I haven't seen that before. Does the nose still bleed? No. Okay, however, there's a bunch of stuff for us to go through. Hotline. Object should be inaccessible for use except to the director. Object is a 1960s era red bakelite telephone. The rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs blank. The object allows the director to communicate with the blank. If used by anyone other than the director, the object will cause lethal blank. See Dr. Darling's presentation 11.6 for more information. The object is currently bound to Director Trench. Background: the object spontaneously manifested in the director's office, placed on the desk. Director Northmer was the first known Bureau agent to use it. A battery of tests were run on the object, including blank and blank, but its origin remains unknown. ID OOP3-UE. Acquisition date 1965. Containment location Hotline Chamber, Executive Sector. Multimedia. The hotline.
Ring, ring. It's Dr. Darling calling. In 1978, a comms department intern heard the hotline ring and picked it up, going against every safety protocol in the manual. She never recovered, and the handful of witnesses required extensive memory repression therapy. It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well. Our very own Ouija board. Only the director can answer it safely, and what he hears is kept classified.
Confidential government footage. Okay. So hotline. There's a bunch of hotline stuff to look at. What is going on? What?
It took us a long time
Okay.
to...
Try this again. There we go.
It took us a long time to learn how to stabilize the control points, the ley lines, the meridians of the oldest house. Darling found a way to soothe this beast. We discovered we must cleanse control points of all interference. It's my duty as the director, like Northmore before me. I couldn't manage it in my own house, at my home. I'll damn well do it here. Without the control points, the oldest house would swallow us alive. We'd be sealed inside an endless labyrinth. No one would hear our screams. If an enemy ever managed to corrupt the control points, it'd be over fast, spreading like a cancer, leaping over the fire breaks like a crown of fire. They are the weak point. Darling's right about that. He's wrong about everything else. Dangerously wrong. Suspiciously wrong. Has he been compromised?
Not paranoid if they really after you.
I can hear the hotline ringing in my dreams, constantly ringing. Ringing so loud I can't hear the voice I'm straining to understand. Why don't I pick up? It's a secure line of communication with the board. They would tell me what I need to know. Do I fear their answers? Would they have warned me of this threat? I didn't see it coming. The traitor in our midst. A conspiracy plotted right behind me. I can't trust anyone. I must assume all my intel has been manipulated. The hotline is the only channel I can trust. Bind it, control it. The rule and the ritual with objects of power. It can't be tampered with. The lifeline to the astral plane and the board. I must seek guidance. Soon. I'll rest first. I'm so tired. Always tired now. But I must reach the hotline. I think I'm under attack. An attack of dementia, exhaustion. It's a rain cloud making me forget. The hotline. I must reach the hotline.
That might have been near his end of his reign as director.
A director needs a team.
Ah, this one.
My
Ocean View Motel.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino is a familiar friend to me. I stayed in countless motels like it while investigating AWEs across the country, back in my field agent days. Those roadside motels all bleed together like a dream. Same and not the same. Anywhere and nowhere. The Ocean View operates on dream logic, and the light switch cord leaks out to be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes successfully encouraged to appear and act as a convenient lock to keep out those not trained in dreamscape navigation. Even Bureau veterans can only find one key in the motel. The key that opens the door marked with the inverted black pyramid. The rest, many other doors, are still mysteries to us. We're all merely guests there. Even the board. Sometimes I need to visit, just to breathe easier for a while. It beats the numb, sterile apartment I spend my nights in, insulated from everything but myself. I guess that's where the whiskey comes in. Something's coming. The whispers growing louder. The worst winter storm in Bureau history. Retribution for my sins. Our sins. This threat could destroy the Bureau, everything I've built. Destroy me. A web spun, turning this place against me. I catch glimpses of it in the corner of my eye. It's just out of reach. Elusive. It's clever. A perverse game of hide and seek. Is this part of an attack? Obfuscating the facts. Dimming my eyes. It's hard to tell. I need answers. I haven't heard back from Darling. I fear for my friend, my closest ally. I think we made a terrible mistake all those years ago. That thing he studies is putting us all in danger. It's my duty as director to keep the Bureau safe. It'll be difficult. What's done can't be undone. There's no easy fix. Magical thinking is a requirement for survival. Pain and suffering are mandatory. To change things, you have to break yourself. I don't know if I have the strength. I'm old and weak. I'm afraid. I can see my hands trembling. I'm losing control.
Interesting. Very interesting. So he looks like there was a, well, it sounds like there was a traitor in the midst, or he had a fallout with Darling about something. Okay, the directorship. You are the director now. We expect independence, dependence. You are authority chosen one. The Bureau game needs you. Okay. Cool. all of the new stuff. The weird chamber. Maybe it's that what's the thing called from not X-Files, X-Men? The Dr. Xavier uses. Looks a little bit like that. Okay, that's new. Wasn't there before, I think. Boot supplement. The boot was the place where they discovered the hotline cord. See, boot supplement. According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from Boot's home to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. See file MOT-01. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. The disappearance of the home's owner and the other locals of Boot have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Boot home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, blank light cords have been found in the oldest house, located in the blank and blank sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly this link operates is blank, but initial hypothesis center on the Boot AWE as a blank, blank. See Dr. Darling's presentation 24.3 for more details. AWE 17, event date 92, event location Butte, Montana. Okay. Did this just unlock? Yeah, so this just unlocked back to the director's office. So, does that mean we can actually go directly there? Trench, Bureau funding. Look. Correspondence, Bureau funding. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the US Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident, regards Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Nice. Don't have to stick your to your budget. Okay. Cool, so there's a hotline door to the director's office. Does this go anywhere? No. Okay, now that we are back here, so south of the director's office is a level 1 clearance door. I think it's this one over here. Can unlock a few of these level 1 doors. Ooh. So let me just tick off that I've unlocked this, so I don't have to try and come back to this. Discover all the secrets. Correspondence, agent death notification. The top one. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son Graham Potts was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I'm honored to tell you that he died in service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against their enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Sincerely yours, Howard J. Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications, Federal Bureau of Control. Agent Potts died. Don't know who that is. Undefined reading. Check our assets. House memory 12. Undefined reading 21. And clearance level 1. Okay, so we've cleared that one. There's one more inside the central executive area. Okay, there's a few more level 1s that we can access. Security. This is where we first heard the siren. Yeah, we were looking at this. The warning siren going off. Ah, there's a new director picture. Director Jesse Faden. Good looking. Good looking. Okay. Just check if there's spawns any new enemies here. Sometimes they spawn. Respawn. I'm not talking about these guys, talking about enemies. Nope. Okay, we can't get there, so that was what I was talking about in terms of the loot box. We will have to access some later point when we've got more skills. Central Executive. So, yeah, there's the other level 1. Which is in top floor, southwest corner. Level 1 floors? Is it southwest? Is it southeast? This is southeast. I just haven't got my directions right. Research and records, para-utility. Para-utility. Objects of power and their para-utility. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The potency of these abilities depends on the para-utilitarian. Using the blank object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of blank, while others are only capable of as little as blank. See Dr. Darling's presentation 11.15 for more information. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it's largely believed to be that some blank exists within the body and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmere records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. Refer to file 8-54-1982 for full report. Compiled by Emily Pope, research specialist, by order of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. So we are essentially making use of the objects we find as a para-utilitarian, I think. The working hypothesis. Control parameters, triangle parameters. Anything else? Also, we might have been able to jump in here. Now, there's some areas that you can actually reach by jumping. Ah, there we go. Absolutely. House memory. Undefined. So these are category 1 and category 2 from the executive wings. The research we haven't got. Containment, mold, alerts we haven't got. Clearance level 1. And there's also a room in the north of the central executive lower floor that requires a level 1 clearance. So, north of central executive. I think it is actually going out into that area where we started out from, this whole new endeavor. Say this. So this room has got a lower floor requiring a level 1 clearance. Now that one over there. So I'll quickly check this out. Undefined reading. Has it? Okay. We've got that now anyway. And there was something in pneumatics as well, which we can go to a bit later. Once we've done the central executive mission completion. Speak with Emily in the executive boardroom. Okay. Did we actually go in there? I only think they came out. I don't think we ever actually went in. Ah, there we go. Control points. Collectibles. Control points. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the blank arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by blank detection of an unobstructed ping using the blank within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures or blank or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be blank. Refer to file 7-25-2788 for full report. Compiled by Paula Bronte and Lorenzo Dunn, researchers, by order of Emily Pebb, research specialist. Also, this is sort of a thing I like, is these two people occasionally speak to each other, and you can listen in on their conversation. Sometimes. But not always. Boardroom, let's speak to him.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
Emily? Let's talk.
Of course.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
Yeah, this gets shown quite a lot. I think this is the image of the looking up at the oldest house. Okay, to get that impression. Okay, time passes. I think. Department of Maintenance. Map maintenance sector. This is the power plant. Anyways. But it's the red. The hiss is here. Okay. 4 ability points received. Unknown caller completed. Directorial override